Now, I want to talk to the person watching this video who checked their bank account this morning and felt their stomach drop. The person who's done the maths on their bills 3 times this week alone, hoping the numbers somehow magically will show something different. The person lying awake at 2 a.m. running calculations and scenarios trying to figure out which payment to actually push back, which direct debit to cancel, whether they can make it to payday without something actually bouncing. The person who did everything they were told to do. They got the job, showed up every day, works hard, doesn't waste money on stupid stuff, and still can't get ahead. Still feels like they're drowning. If that's you right now, I need you to stay for the next 10 minutes because I'm not going to tell you to start a business. I'm not going to tell you to invest into crypto. And I'm not going to tell you to build a personal brand or to learn how to code or something like that. Now, I know you don't have money or the energy right now. And I know you're exhausted. I know you're also frustrated. And I know you may even be scared. But what I am going to show you is how regular people in Australia are adding 8 to 10K a month to their income, working 2 to 3 hours in the evenings without selling anything, without cold calling anyone, without spending a cent upfront. But first, I need you to understand why you are actually in this position, because it's actually not your fault. And once you see the maths, you'll understand why working harder is never actually going to fix this. Now, I'm going to use Australia as an example because that's where I live, but this actually reflects what's happening globally. The numbers might be different in your country, but the pattern is always the same no matter where you live. The average salary in Australia is about 80K a year. Kind of sounds okay on paper. After tax, that's roughly about $5,000 a month in your hand, give or take. Now, let's look at where that money actually goes. Rent in Sydney or Melbourne, $800 a week on average. That's $3,200 a month. Already 64% of your take-home pay goes before you've even eaten a single meal. Groceries, if you're careful and you're cooking at home, you're not wasting anything, $600 a month. But realistically, most people are spending $700 to $800 because everything is going up. Petrol, $250 to $300 a month, depending on your actual commute. Car insurance, health insurance, phone bills, internet, utilities, registration. That's another $800 to maybe $1,000 a month for the basics. Now we start to add it up. $3,200 in rent, $700 in groceries, $300 in petrol, $900 in bills and insurance. That's $5,100. Your take-home pay is $5,000. You're already $100 in the hole and you haven't even done anything yet. You haven't even gone out to dinner. You haven't bought any new clothes. You haven't taken your kids anywhere and you haven't had a single unexpected expense and you're already in the negative. Now that's the math of being an average Australian right now. And here's what actually makes it even worse. 2 years ago, rent was 9% lower. Groceries were cheaper. Insurance was cheaper. Everything was cheaper. But your salary, maybe it went up 3% in that time. Every single month, you are going backwards. Not because you're bad with money, but because the cost of living is rising faster than your income ever will. And there is nothing that you can do about that from the inside of an actual salary. Now, I know what that actually feels like and the heaviness in your chest when you open that banking app, the moment at Woolies where you're doing your mental maths because you need to measure up everything you're putting in that trolley. That shame when your mates suggest going out for dinner and you have to make up an excuse because you actually can't afford it. Now, it's not a nice way to live and you shouldn't, and you don't deserve to live like that. So what are your actual options? Get a second job? You're already exhausted from the first one. And even if you pick up weekend shifts at $30 an hour, well, that's only just an extra $1,000, maybe $1,500 a month after tax. Now, it helps, but it doesn't change your life. And now guess what? You have 0 days off. You're burning out twice as fast because of a marginal improvement. Start a side hustle. With what energy? You come home from work at 6 p.m. and you can barely keep your eyes open. And every side hustle people suggest needs either money or you don't have months of building before you can actually see a return. Drop shipping needs a budget. Content creation needs a year of consistency. Freelancing needs a portfolio. None of them solve the problem this month, next month, or probably even in 6 months from now. What about learning to invest? With what? You've got $200 in savings on a good month. 10% return on $200, that's $20. And it doesn't even cover one grocery shop. What are you going to do? Cut expenses? You've already cut everything you can actually cut out. You're not buying coffees. You're not eating out. There's nothing left to cut out. The problem isn't spending. The problem is that your income can't keep up with the cost of being alive. Every solution people throw at you either assumes you have the money to invest or the time and the energy you've already spent on your day job. Nobody acknowledges that when you're broke and exhausted, the last thing that you can do is start something that actually takes months to pay off. But what if there was something that you could do from your couch between 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. that pays you $1,000 to $2,000 every time you complete a 25-minute phone call? Not selling, not cold calling, not convincing anyone of anything, just helping someone access funding for something they've already decided to buy. That's what an FDR does, a finance development representative. Here's a simple version. Businesses sell high-ticket programs online, coaching, consulting, training, 10K, 15K, 20K or more. The customer says yes, but they can't pay for it up front. The business needs someone to get on a call with that customer and walk them through the funding application with a US-backed lending partner. Real finance companies, real capital, legitimate process. The customer gets approved. Finance company pays the business the full amount. The customer pays the funding company back over time. It's simple. The FDR gets 10% commission on every funded deal, paid immediately, not in 6 months, not when the customer finishes their payment plan, immediately. 20K deal is 2K in commissions. 15K deal is $1,500 in commissions. 10K deal is $1,000 in commissions. One call. 20 to 30 minutes. Do that twice a week and you've added $2,000 to $4,000 to your monthly income. That's your rent done, covered, and not from your salary, from 2 phone calls a week. Now, if you do that 5 times a month, you're at 10K a month extra. So that's not quit your job money. Actually, it might be, but the point is you don't actually have to quit. You keep your day job for stability. You do the FDR calls in the evenings for growth. The day job covers your basics. The FDR income covers everything else. The savings, the breathing room, the ability to actually say yes when someone invites you to dinner. That's the difference between surviving and living. Now, these aren't internet celebrities. These aren't people who got lucky. These are normal Australians who are in the exact same position you are in right now, stressed, stretched, barely keeping up. Now, they found something that actually changed the equation and they did something about it. Now, let me talk to you about why this actually works when everything else doesn't, because it actually matters. 0 startup costs. You don't need to invest a cent to start. No ad budget, no inventory, no equipment, nothing. You can do it in the evening. The calls are with customers and the customers are available outside of business hours. Even perhaps on weekends, it's also fine. You don't need to quit your job or take time off. Immediate payment. When a deal gets funded, you get paid that week. Not in 3 months when your YouTube channel actually monetizes. Not when you find your 4th freelance client. This week with no selling required. The sale is largely already done. You're helping someone complete an application. That's it. Now, if you can have a friendly conversation with another human and follow a structured process, you can do this. And it scales as you get better. More calls, more funded deals, bigger deal sizes, more businesses to work with. The income grows with you. The reason most people don't know about this is because, guess what? Businesses need FDRs and they're not going to advertise for them. They need people that are trained right now to start funding deals immediately. And I built the Freedom Academy to do. We've done over 500 million in combined sales with access to 3.5 billion in US-backed private equity funding. We actually saw the gap. Businesses desperately needed FDRs. Millions of people desperately need extra income. We built the bridge. We teach you the skill. We place you in a role and you don't have to find opportunities. We get you trained. We get you placed with real businesses where deals are already happening. Now, if you're broke right now and you're tired of pretending everything's fine, I've put together a free masterclass that shows you exactly how this all works, the process, the numbers, and how people in your exact situation are doing this right now. The link is in the description or comment freedom and we'll send you the link to register. You don't have to keep going backwards. The maths doesn't have to stay broken, but watching another video about it isn't actually going to change anything. Doing something about it actually will.